In this video, I'm going to be showing you the exact $4 million cold call funnel that my company's used over the last 4 years to do, over hundreds of deals, 200 or 300 deals, probably just off cold calling alone in the last 4 years using this exact funnel. I'm going to be going every single process, screen sharing with you, showing you where we get our data, how we skip trace it, who we use to cold call our data, how it all works inside of our CRM. So stay tuned for this video. Before I get into it, I want to talk about why you should listen to me, right? So I've been on the Bigger Pocket Show, I've been on the Ryan Pineda Show, I've gone all over the world talking about how we do this, why we do this, and why I think cold calling is the #1 way for you to produce off-market deal flow for your company. You don't need to go pay someone 10 grand to learn how to cold call. I'm going to show you in this video exactly how to cold call your prospects. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to have you do is I want you to grab a list from PropStream. Okay, so I'm going to go into a county. I'm going to go into, say, Pierce County. And if I'm building a cold call funnel, that all starts with data, because we're data people speed. So I'm starting with data. So I'm going to go to Pierce County, and the list I want you to pull to start out for single family is I want you to pull an absentee out of state list. Okay, so I'm going to go filter. I'm going to go owner occupied. No. I'm going to go property characteristics. For the sake of this video, I'm going to grab single family. Okay, year built. I don't want anything built before 2016. Okay, so I'm going to go 1890. You'd be surprised in Pierce County there are some homes built all the way back in 1890 to 2016. MLS status, obviously we're looking for off-market property, so no, not on market. Ownership info, I'm going to go to individually owned properties that are been owned a minimum of 7 years of ownership, okay? Then I am going to come down to valuation and equity, and I want properties that have at least 30% or more of equity. And then I'm coming back to ownership info, and you see absentee owner location right here. I'm going to go out of state. Okay, so now you're going to see for my out of state absentee high equity list, those are 3 pain points. I have 1,544 records. Okay, in here is going to be some vacants. There's going to be some other properties as well, part of this funnel, but this is the record stack I want you guys to start with. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the next part, which is going to be exporting this data. So PropStream is super easy to use. All you're going to literally do here is you're going to go save search. You're just going to go, you're going to save properties. So I'm going to go 1544. I'm going to go add to list. I'm going to create new. I'm going to do Pierce County. I like to do absentee high equity out of state. I just do initials. Okay, I'm going to save those properties. Okay, now those properties have been saved. So now I can come into my properties here and I can search for that same list. Absentee right here. I can select all of those, then I can export. Okay. So now I'm going to move on to the next part. So once we have exported our list, now we're going to get that into a list stacker to move on to the next part of our funnel here for our $4 million cold call funnel. Okay, now I'm going to have you guys get an REI Sift account and import your guys' list to REI Sift. Okay, REI Sift is an amazing tool. So now let's pretend I just had imported that list. So then I'm going to go to my county. So so now I can list stack and I can go to property county. Put in Pierce. And then what's cool about REI Sift is automatically will pull in your out-of-state absentees. Okay, so here now I have my 2,999. I have a little more in here because I pulled other lists too. And then I'm also going to go ahead and I'm going to throw a vacant filter on it. Sorry, a vacant property. Yes. Okay. And that'll wean it down even more to 87. Okay, if you guys are going to be cold calling yourself, now you have your 87 most motivated prospects. But if you want to do it at scale, what we do in our $4 million funnel is we just will cold call all of the absentee out of state. But this list stacking tool is amazing. I want you guys to set it up. I want you guys to use it inside of your company. Next thing I want you guys to do is head over to easybuttonleads.com. Easybuttonleads.com is a place that will skip trace your data for you and it'll cold call it for you. So our funnel, we use them. We have 50 cold callers with them. You don't need that many. You could start with, say, 3 or 1 or 2. So Easy Button Leads is an amazing place to go. They'll skip trace your data. They'll get emails back and phone numbers back. They'll send them back to you so you can upload them to your REI Sift, and they'll also cold call those records for you. So that's the next part of our funnel is skip tracing, getting phone numbers for those records. Yeah, so the next thing you need is a CRM. We use Podio. Podio's free to a certain extent. Now we have a lot of developers, so we've built that out quite extensively. So, our 10 sales team members have access. Some of our admin team has access. We have over here, we have our total talk time. Yesterday was a Sunday, so the guys had the day off. We have our lead flow. So we have over 1,000 leads in the last 30 days. All of our apps are Sell Leads app. Once you have easy button leads cold calling, or you're cold calling yourself, these are what you want, where you want to drop your leads. The cool thing about this system is whether you're cold calling yourself or if you have someone else cold calling for you, you can really easily grab this web form, which I'll show you. And this web form will allow, you or whoever else to submit leads directly to your CRM. And Podio gives you this web form automatically, which is a great way for you or your team to input leads into your CRM. Okay. So now I want to take you guys over to the dialer. If you're going to cold call yourself, the dialer you should use to actually cold call yourself. Okay. Now that you have your, you need a dialer. If you're going to cold call yourself, I recommend using Ready Mode or Batch Dialer. Batch Dialer is a lot easier to use, but not quite as good. I found Ready Mode to be by far the best dialer right now to use out there. So I recommend using one of these. I like to use Ready Mode for my custom solution for my company. So use either one of these. But again, I like Ready Mode if you're going to dial yourself. And then you want to focus on just hammering the phones. So now you guys have the basic system set up, right? You guys know how to pull your first list. You guys know how to skip trace that list. You guys know what dialer to use to cold call yourself, or if you're going to have someone else cold call for you. You know your CRM. You know how to get those leads into your CRM. So now comes the real work, okay? The real work starts at cold calling. If you're going to cold call yourself, you need to be making at least 150 to 350 dials a day to really get traction in your company, okay? So what that looks like is, you're blocking out an hour or 2 or 3 a day, and you're making those dials yourself, whether you're trying to source single family, multifamily, self-storage, commercial, whatever you're trying to source, or development land. You need to spend an hour or 2 a day blocking your calendar to make 150 to 350 dials a day to successfully get this scale with cold calling. Okay, no matter how good your systems are, the systems I just showed you are what we use inside of our company on a day-to-day basis, but you need to make sure you work the system. If you hire it out, awesome, and you want to spend $1,000 or $2,000 a month and have a couple cold callers do all the work for you, that's cool. We use easybuttonleads.com for that. If you want to do it yourself, I highly recommend using a dialer like Batch Dialer or Ready Mode, making those dials every day. They're super easy to use. You import your list that you got from PropStream after you get phone numbers back from Easy Button Leads, or if you go skip trace on like needtoskip.com, you import those into your dialer, you make the calls, you then submit those leads to your CRM with the web form I just showed you. Even if you use Follow Up Boss, or you use Investor Fuse or any of the other million CRMs out there, that most of them have a web form you can submit leads to. Okay. Once you get a lead in your CRM, you need to do a 6x6 blitz. What that is, 6 days of 6 contact points. Okay. That's contact points: an email, a voicemail, a text, a cold call. You need 6 contact points for 6 days straight. The whole name of the game is getting them back on the phone and working them through your sales process. I'll have more videos on our sales process and actually negotiating contracts and stuff on the phone. But you have to start there with actually making your dials and starting to work them, getting back on the phone once they're in your CRM. This is all we do. We keep it simple. We get good data sets. We work it the right way with the right systems into our CRM. We hire out the labor, and this literally does 15 to 35 new contracts every single quarter just from cold calling. Okay. That's at scale. With no scale, you yourself can cold call and get 1 to 3 contracts a quarter. That's going to be an average deal size of $20,000 in most markets, $60,000 a quarter. That's $240,000 a year. And revenue, say you run at a 60% profit margin, you're still making $150,000. It's pretty much a side hustle also on real estate. Okay. There's nothing more powerful in 2022 moving into 2023 than learning a cold call funnel like this, whether you're going to source single family, multifamily, commercial. I'll do other video breakdowns more in depth, showing more in depthly how to source multifamily and off market multifamily and commercial and self-storage and all that fun stuff. But for single family, this is the best way to get started. This cold call funnel works. Drop any comments you have in the comments you have or questions you have in the comments here. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more tips, tricks on building your off-market deal sourcing machine in 2022 and moving into 2023.